Story begins on a stormy day inside the ancient castle. Countless corpses lay piled on the ground. Fresh blood was splattered all over the path. A young woman held a knife, still dripping with blood, as she stepped out and called, "Qi Fenage, you're still truly formidable." Nearby, a young man stood atop the pile of bodies, a sword in his hand. He was breathing heavily as he responded, "I managed to make it through the ruins of the ancient mechanical god, but that divine weapon has already taken the eye of judgment." Covered in wounds, he began coughing weakly. "Why did you betray me?" His voice turned bitter. "I am your brother Tianozu." Tianozu stared at the eye in his hand, then at Quen Feng, letting out a cold laugh. His expression was icy, filled with doubt. "Brother, Quen Feng, you're just my parents' adopted son. We don't even share the same blood. How dare you call yourself my brother?" At that moment, another young man appeared behind her, smiling as he spoke. "Xiao Su, you shouldn't say such things." Recognizing the familiar voice, Xiao Su quickly turned around in excitement. Sanfei smiled in satisfaction before adding, "Well, your brother hasn't been entirely useless after all." Xiao Su ran happily towards Sanfei, handing him Quen Fengji's eye. With one arm around Xiao Su, Sanfei played with Quen Fengji's eye in the other hand, enjoying his trophy as he arrogantly said, "Quen Fengji, I really should thank you. Thanks to you and Xiao Su, we obtained this divine weapon, a relic capable of instantly extracting the lifespan of any being." He chuckled. "It took me a lot of effort to insert the soul piercer blade into your body. Tell me, do you like my parting gift?" Blood continued to flow endlessly from Quen Fen's face. Clenching his teeth in rage, he spoke each word in pain. "Tianosu, I raised you in our parents' name. I paid for your education and risked my life countless times for you. I sacrificed everything, but now I see I made a terrible mistake." Tianosu listened to those words without showing the slightest emotion and coldly responded, "After our parents died, you always tried to control my life, interfering in everything I did. When Sanfei and I needed protection, you were somewhat useful, but now that the divine relic is in our hands, you have no value left." The moment he finished speaking, Sanfei, without mercy, swung his sword and lunged. "I'll take good care of Xiao Su for you." The Quen Fengji's trembling hand tightened around his sword. Using the last of his strength, he raised his weapon and roared in fury, "Even if I die, I will never forgive you." Before he could say another word, Sanfei's sword struck, decapitating him in a single slash. The Divine Judgment. Time moved forward, and in the year 2025, a game called Divine Judgment appeared. Anyone who fell asleep was dragged into its world. The only currency in the game was life itself. If you died, you lost years of your lifespan. If you killed monsters, you could gain additional years. Additionally, players could sacrifice part of their longevity to bring abilities from the game into the real world. In this new world order, a true warrior could tear apart a tank with their bare hands, slice an airplane in half with a single strike, or even withstand a nuclear explosion with their body. What once was only a dream had now become reality. From then on, the world changed drastically, and chaos spread. I managed to survive alongside my sister, overcoming countless hardships, until I became one of the 100 strongest warriors in the world. After endless battles and dangers, I finally made it through the ruins of the ancient city and obtained the divine relic, the Eye of Judgment. At last, I had the power to climb to the top. But I never imagined I would be betrayed by the one person I had trusted my entire life. Everything I had sacrificed, everything I had lost, had only served for the benefit of others. I refused to accept this. If there were a chance to return to life this time, I would live only for myself. Everything felt like a dream. Quen Feng awoke in a new body. He opened his eyes and looked around in surprise. "Where am I? Is this the real world?" He hurried to grab the phone next to him, and as he touched his neck, a chill of disbelief ran through him. Wasn't he supposed to be dead? 25, I've gone back in time. He had returned to a year before the launch of Divine Judgment. Just then, the door was kicked open, and Tianosu stormed in, furious. "I knew you were home, Quen Feng. Why the hell aren't you answering my calls?" She barged into the room, destroying everything in her path while cursing him. "Weren't you supposed to support me at Sanfei's event? Are you trying to disappear from my life? Do you have any idea how important this is to me?" Sanfei is facing a crisis. Those bastards from Donu and his group are starting to invade his territory. I had to be there for him, but those obsessive fans and that wretched Rongso, they're disgusting, clinging to him like parasites. And while he's in crisis, you're here, stopping me from helping him, taking my money and blocking my progress in the rankings. You've made me look like a loser. You need to take responsibility for this. Ignoring her hysterical screams, Quen fell into deep thought, recalling what had happened in his previous life. As he had predicted on the launch day of Divine Judgment, he and Tianosu had a huge fight because of Sanfei. Before the game was released, Sanfei had been an underground idol with a certain level of popularity. Tianosu was one of his most obsessed fans. However, behind his dazzling facade, Sanfei was actually a scumbag who deceived and manipulated his female followers, scamming them out of their money and even taking advantage of them physically. To protect Tianosu from falling into his traps, Quen Feng had never let her get too close to him. But in the end, he was accused of interfering in her life. Seeing that Quen Feng remained silent, Tianosu stepped even closer, pointing a finger at him and shouting, "Are you dead or what? I'm talking to you. Now you're pretending to be deaf. Because of you, he dropped in this month's rankings. If you don't give me money right now, I..." Before Tianosu could finish her sentence, Quen Feng didn't hesitate for even a second. He slapped her so hard that she fell to the floor, unable to react. Dazed with her face burning, Tianosu trembled in fear as she clutched her cheek. You dare to hit me." Quen Feng looked at her coldly and responded in a severe tone, "Tianosu, I don't have the time or patience to waste on you today. But if you dare provoke me again, I'll break your mouth with another slap. With that, he pulled out a bank card and tossed it at her feet. This is the money our parents left us. No matter how hard life was, I never touched a single coin of it. But today, I'm giving it all to you. Without saying another word, he turned and walked toward his room. Before entering, he paused, glancing at her one last time with utter contempt. Out of respect for our parents, I won't lower myself to arguing with you, but listen carefully from this moment on. Q and Fenji no longer has a sister like you. With those words, he slammed the door shut, leaving Tianosu sitting on the floor, crying with tears streaming down her face. Inside his room, Q and Fen took a sip of water. His eyes reflected an unshakable determination. In my past life, I sacrificed too many opportunities just to protect Tianosu. There were countless dungeons and hidden treasures that required great risks, but I let them pass. He took a few vision-enhancing pills and swallowed them in one gulp. I wonder, without that burden, how far can I go this time? I'll use all the knowledge I have from my previous life about divine judgment and surpass everyone. Tianosu, survive on your own. His eyes gleamed with a murderous light. And as for Sunfei, I'll kill you myself. A moment later, Qing found himself inside a grand hall with multiple doors, each leading to a different profession. As he took in his surroundings, a familiar sensation washed over him, filling him with nostalgia. The class selection hall, what memories. The first time I came here, I panicked and took hours to choose my profession before I could leave, but this time I must be faster. In his past life, he had chosen the warrior class to protect Tianosu. Even though warriors weren't weak, in his current situation, that profession no longer suited him. Tianfeng felt that his speed to advance would be much greater. Mobility was the most important thing. He made a firm decision. He would choose the profession of assassin. Without hesitation, he extended his hand toward the assassin's door. At that moment, a notification appeared in his vision that the Eye of Judgment has been successfully linked. The Eye of Judgment has activated its unique attribute of Power of Judgment, a passive skill. Upon entering Divine Judgment, you will automatically receive the highest level profession and talent. Reading the notification, Tianfeng exclaimed in astonishment. The Eye of Judgment. Everything made sense now. Divine relics, once they recognize an owner, could neither be stolen nor used by anyone else, even if forcibly taken from their body. Perhaps the reason he had returned to life was because of its power. As he continued to process what it meant to have the Eye of Judgment, a dense black mist emerged from nowhere and passed through his body. Little by little, the dark mist completely enveloped him. The notifications kept appearing. Congratulations, you have unlocked a hidden profession. Class transfer in progress, transfer complete. You are now Eat the Shadow. When the mist dissipated, Tianfeng emerged with a new appearance. His hair had turned silver and his body was surrounded by a dark and terrifying aura. He looked at his hands and the black energy around him, unable to hide his surprise. The Shadow. So this is the most powerful hidden profession of the assassins. It was a completely different sensation from his past life as a warrior. He had just received a new profession, yet the power flowing through his body was overwhelming. Normally, the chances of obtaining a high-level hidden profession when choosing a class were extremely low. However, the Power of Judgment had ensured an absolute probability. This power, it can truly transcend the rules and order itself. Before he could fully grasp what was happening, his body began to emit a golden glow, completely enveloping him. More notifications followed. Power of Judgment activated Primal Power, the oldest and truest force in the universe. This power dominates over rules and order. You currently lack divinity and cannot activate it manually. Temporary passive effect activated. In an instant, Tianfeng had successfully unlocked a hidden profession. Sitting atop a statue, he gazed at the moon on the horizon, lost in thought. In my past life, it wasn't until the 7th year of Divine Judgment that a warrior managed to escape the land abandoned by the gods and enter the land of order. Only then did humanity discover the existence of the power of order. But despite the years that followed, no one had ever fully obtained that power. And here I am. I only just begun, and I already possess a power capable of surpassing both rules and order itself. If he managed to escape the land abandoned by the gods and reach the land of order, he would obtain divinity, unlocking the full potential of his Power of Judgment. It seems that in this life, I already have a new goal. Just then, the system's voice echoed in his mind, interrupting his thoughts. Profession selection complete. Please enter your in-game name. Tianfeng was slightly surprised. After a moment of reflection, he raised his hand and touched the system interface. If my profession was born from darkness, then I shall be called the Shadow. The system immediately responded. Your name has been registered as the Shadow. Wasting no more time, Tianfeng advanced rapidly toward the land abandoned by the gods. The system immediately displayed a new notification. This is a desolate territory where countless demonic creatures roam uncontrollably. Please be cautious. They can tear you apart and take your life at any moment. Upon leaving Caracola Town and Monster Slayer, you will receive additional years of life expectancy, which can be exchanged. However, if you die in the game, you will lose half of your total life expectancy, including both the exchangeable and non-exchangeable portions. In an instant, Q and Fenji arrived at Caracola Town, a safe zone within the territory. Around him, a murmur of voices filled the air as players tried to make sense of what was happening. Where are we? What is this profession? What does this codename mean? I had just finished my night shift at work, laid down in bed, and suddenly ended up here. Is this all hallucination? I have no idea. I was playing Battle Royale all night, fell asleep, and suddenly woke up here. Damn it, this hurts too much. This isn't a dream. It looks like we've been dragged into some kind of game. Q and Fenji remain silent, listening to the conversations around him. So, there are already many people trapped in this game. It won't be long before warriors from all over the world emerge, trying to restructure the global order. If I want to get ahead of them, I have to move faster. Time waits for no one. Q and Fenji's presence quickly caught the attention of the players around him. Many looked at him with curiosity. What profession is that? Why does he look different from us? I don't know, but look at the daggers in his hands. He's probably an assassin. But I'm an assassin too. Why do I look as cool as him? Look, he even has special effects around his body. As Q and Fen walked through the city, a group of players suddenly blocked his path. Murmurs and complaints echoed among them. It hurts too much, so if you die, you just respawn in the city. Those monsters are too fierce. One bite took away half of my health bar. How are we supposed to defeat them? It was just a damn low-level crypt monster, but even attacking it together, the 5 of us only managed to take down a third of its health. I've already lost half of my life expectancy. One of the group members looked at the girl sitting on the ground and asked, Luz, what do we do now? The young woman held her head in frustration. My head hurts. From a distance, Q and Fen jibs her in silence, noticing something unusual. An archer's starting weapon was usually a short bow, but she was using a longbow. It was likely she had a hidden profession. Noticing Q and Fen staring at her, the girl quickly stood up and spoke to him. Hey brother, it looks like you have a hidden profession. Would you like to join our team? The monsters outside the city are too strong. One person alone can't face them. We've already been wiped out once, so we have experience. Upon hearing that, Q and Fenji couldn't help but laugh internally. Experience in dying. Without a second thought, he coldly rejected the offer. Not interested. Then he turned around and continued on his way. 2 members of the group watched him leave and couldn't help but mock him. What, is he going to act like some kind of expert? There were 5 of us, and we still couldn't defeat a single monster. Does he really think he can do it alone? He has a hidden profession, and on top of that, he's an assassin. If he can't defeat them, at least he can run away. Ha! I'm dying of laughter. I already told him it's extremely dangerous out there, but he still plans to go alone. He wants to die. Meanwhile, the girl accessed the system to search for information about him. After a few seconds, she exclaimed in surprise. His name is Shadow. Watching his back as he walked away, she clicked her tongue in annoyance. T-esque, another one who thinks he's superior to everyone else. She then turned to her group and gave instructions. Let's follow him. I want to see what skills he has. Maybe we can gather some new information about those monsters. It'll be interesting to see how he dies. As Q and Fengi walked slowly through the city, Leslie followed him closely, observing him attentively. The land forsaken by the gods was a strange and dangerous place. He still didn't understand why he had ended up in this world. Thanks to his years of experience in online games, he had quickly managed to form a small team. Thinking about the terrifying creature that had defeated them before, he trembled slightly. I never imagined that the first monster in the Novus village could annihilate us so easily. That wasn't an enemy a level 1 player could defeat. Around him, his team members murmured among themselves. His starting weapon is different from ours. You have daggers, but he uses a short sword. And not only that, he's much faster than me. Assassins are supposed to have the highest agility. Also, his clothes don't look like ours. Light kept her eyes fixed on Q and Fen, deep in thought. That player at the shadow is different. If we follow him, we might get some valuable information. Suddenly, Q and Fudge felt a strange presence behind him and quickly turned his head. His sharp gaze locked on Olay's group, and she, startled, hurried to hide behind a tree. He noticed us. Before they could react, a dark aura enveloped Q and Fenji's body. In the blink of an eye, he vanished in a swirl of black smoke, merging with the mysterious blue glow of the surroundings. The players were stunned. Where is he? He disappeared. Is that a stealth skill? How can his starting ability be invisibility? What kind of profession is this? It's incredible. Lay clicked her tongue in frustration and turned to her team. Forget it. Let's go back to the city and find a way to level up. It's too dangerous out here. We've already died once, and our lifespan has been cut in half. One of the players hesitated. That's true, but maybe there's a hidden quest to treasure, or we could find an important NPC. Without further discussion, the group decided to return, abandoning the chase. They didn't realize that Q and Fenenji's blurred silhouette was watching them closely. He checked his system information. Stealth. Entering stealth mode grants invisibility. You will only become visible if you take damage. Upon exiting stealth mode, your first attack will deal increased damage. Stealth mastery doubles the duration of invisibility and increases its level by 1. Q and Fedge was surprised. They can't see me. This shadow profession really is special. At this level, ordinary assassins could still be detected with relative ease. However, the shadow profession had the stealth mastery ability, granting absolute invisibility. Neither players nor monsters could sense his presence at this early stage. He glanced indifferently at the group of players. A bunch of knave fools. There's nothing useful in the city to improve one's power. That place is nothing more than a temporary refuge for players, but in divine judgment, weak players would always end up as prey for the demonic creatures. As his body started to become visible again, he murmured, invisibility has ended. The duration wasn't very long, but fortunately the cooldown started the moment the ability was activated. In just a few seconds, he could turn invisible again. The system updated his status. Name the shadow. Profession shadow. Level. Non-tradable lifespan 75. Tradable lifespan 0 year. Strength 10. Constitution tempo 3. Agility 10. Spirit 10. Analyzing his stats, Qinfeng reflected. Every player starts with base stats of 10 points. Each profession grants different bonuses based on this. In my past life, when I chose the warrior profession, I only received bonuses to strength and constitution. Plea 3 each. But now, with the shadow profession, all my attributes have improved and agility has increased by a whopping Paul Ake. Then, he noticed something unexpected in the system. Unassigned attribute points 5. Surprise, he exclaimed. I still have 5 extra points to allocate. Most players initially invested in strength or spirit to enhance physical or magical damage. But that was a mistake. Thanks to the experience from his past life, he didn't hesitate for a second and allocated all his points to agility. Looking at the system notification, Tianfeng confirmed that all his attribute points had been assigned to agility. He nodded in satisfaction. Agility is the most important thing. No matter how the points are distributed at the beginning, the damage from any demonic creature is always little to players. The only way to survive is to increase agility and speed to kill monsters without taking damage. Suddenly, a strange crunching sound caught his attention. Behind a tree, a dark silhouette moved. Secret. The creature was absorbing a mysterious blue light. The system displayed a notification. Crypt, level 1 common grade, evolving in progress. Tianfeng immediately understood. So this is the crypt that wiped out that group of 4 players. He examined its body and noticed multiple wounds. It seems they had already weakened it significantly before dying. In an instant, Tianfeng leaped agilely, dodging its attack. According to his memories, when a monster killed a player, it absorbed their life expectancy and could evolve through this process. The creature extended its limbs, its body began to levitate, and a dark blue light surrounded its eyes. The monster locked its murderous gaze onto Tianfeng, sensing the threat. But before it could react, Tianfeng launched himself from above, his short sword flashing with a deadly gleam. Hidden strike, lightning assassination. The blade descended at lightning speed, cutting directly through the creature's neck. You have inflicted 174 damage. You have eliminated a level 1 crit. You have received 10 experience points. Tianfeng was surprised. A lethal strike in a single attack. Although attacking a crypt's neck guaranteed a critical hit, the damage was too high. Another system notification appeared. Backstab, if you attack an enemy outside their field of vision, damage is double. So that's why. In addition to the critical hit, both Backstab and his class abilities had activated simultaneously, pushing the damage to absurd levels. He remained silent for a moment, remembering his past life. He recalled how at that moment, he had held Tianu tightly in his arms as she trembled in terror. Back then, a warrior's critical hit only dealt 40 damage, and even then, it took a long time to defeat a crit. On top of that, he always ended up injured. Memory slowly resurfaced. At that time, the 2 siblings had been both excited and nervous as they held the sphere of light in their hands. The luminous sphere floated above their palms, radiating a warm glow. Tianfeng extended his hand and clenched it tightly. The system immediately displayed a notification. You have obtained 0.3 days of transferable life expectancy. You have obtained 55 days of non-transferable life expectancy. He looked at the system notification and began to calculate. If these 5 players were killed, each must have lost at least 20 to 30 years of life expectancy. That means the crypt absorbed over 100 years in total. But after the life expectancy was transferred to me, I only received 54 years. While non-transferable life expectancy doesn't have an immediate use anyway, the system issued another notification. The power of judgment has been activated. Congratulations, you have obtained the talent Infinite Evolution. Tianfeng's eyes widened in astonishment. Infinite Evolution, a primordial level talent. When you defeat monsters in solo mode, you have a chance to receive evolution points, which can be used to improve skills. Another notification appeared. Every 24 hours, you will automatically receive 5 evolution points. If you defeat a boss in solo mode, you will always receive additional points. Current points 5. Tianfeng muttered in surprise. I can evolve skills. In his past life, he had never heard of anything like this. Normally, both equipment and skills obtained from monsters remain at the same level and never changed. So this is the power that transcends all rules and order. Without hesitation, he opened the system and selected his first upgrades. Alright, let's test this. He chose to upgrade Stealth and Backstab. The system immediately responded. You have spent 4 evolution points. Skill evolution completed. Original skill Stealth and normal level. Allows entry invisibility mode for 12 to 16 seconds. Attacking while hidden will reveal your presence. Upon exiting invisibility, the first pulls 60% to 90% additional damage. Cooldown 20 to 26 seconds. Original skill Backstab is normal level. Passive effect, if you attack an enemy from behind, damage increases by 10% to 15%. Tianfeng felt satisfied and commented, the stealth duration has increased to 16 seconds. When combined with Stealth Mastery, its duration doubles, reaching 32 seconds. No, my invisibility lasts long enough. If this skill keeps evolving, even a Crip in full blood fury could be killed in a single strike. Suddenly, a shout caught his attention. Look, that scrawny guy just killed a monster by himself. Told you this game was easy. Beside the speaker, a blonde-haired girl looked at him with admiration. Connie, you're amazing. With your strength, you could defeat at least 10 more people. The man called Cakesy laughed arrogantly. Haha, don't worry, I'll protect you. As long as I'm here, you have nothing to fear. Tianfeng ignored their conversation. Qianfen fixed his gaze on Key's surroundings with a confident smile. He turned to him and offered help. Friend, I see you're having trouble getting out on your own. "Do you want me to take you with me?" Without realizing it, two red eyes were watching him from above. Fenji immediately recognized the breeder and activated Still. The girl looked confused when she noticed his disappearance. "Here, where did he go?" The man took the opportunity to brag. He must have been scared when he saw my muscles." Both continued laughing when, suddenly a gigantic spider descended from the top of a tree. Key looked up and screamed in horror. "What the hell is that?" Within seconds, the two became its prey. The system displayed a notification. Breeder level 1 bronze rank. Around it, smaller spiders appeared. The system provided more information. Breeder spawn level 1 common grade. From a nearby position, Fenji observed the scene and evaluated the situation. The breeder is the boss of the Novus village. It is around 600 HP, completely out of reach for normal players, not to mention that it commands an army of lesser spiders. At that moment, his eyes sharpened as he leaped toward the monster. "Well, what better way to test my enhanced skills than with you?" With a single strike of Hidden Strike Lightning Assassination, Fenji slashed the monster's head, making it roar in pain. Without giving it time to react, he delivered another horizontal slash to its abdomen. He quickly activated Stealth and vanished into the darkness. The wounded breeder roared furiously. The system displayed a notification. "You have dealt 338 damage, attack directed at a weak point." But right after, another notification appeared. "You have received 9 damage." Fed shuddered. "That was close if I didn't have enough agility. With just 120 HP, a single hit could have killed me instantly. But still, my attack managed to deal over 300 damage. This is incredible." The monster, unable to locate him, grew even more furious and began destroying everything around it with its legs. Akunafeg hid behind a tree analyzing the situation. It lost its patience. High-level demonic creatures don't just attack mindlessly, it won't stand still waiting for me to strike. From his hiding spot, he watched the breeder begin striking the surroundings chaotically, trying to find him. Meanwhile, the smaller spiders were on high alert, making it dangerous to approach. Suddenly, the breeder started moving in his direction. Fej grabbed a stone from the ground and threw it with all his strength. The rock cut through the air and embedded itself in the monster's abdomen. The system notified, "You have dealt 299 damage, attack directed at a weak point." Fej picked up another stone, confirming his theory. Azai thought. He leaned against the tree trunk, deep in thought. "My greatest source of damage comes from stealth, enhanced attacks, and my advanced class skills. Even a stone, if it hits correctly, can deal significant damage." Briefly leaving his stealth, he launched another stone with deadly precision. "I just need to wait for stealth's cooldown to finish." The projectile struck the same previous wound, reactivating the effects of Hidden Strike, Lightning Assassination, and Backstab. The damage multiplied again, just as he had planned. The system displayed another notification. "You have dealt 279 damage, attack directed at a weak point." Fenji reactivated Stealth and hid behind a tree, considering his next move. "Alright, I just need to wait for Stealth's cooldown to finish." He picked up another stone and prepared to throw it again, ready to attack as soon as his ability recharged. Suddenly, a system announcement echoed throughout the city. "The ranking has been updated. Player, the Shadow, has defeated the bronze rank breeder and has become the first player to reach level 2. The level ranking in Seashell Town has been activated." All the players in the city looked up at the notification. What the hell? I've been killed twice in a row by a simple creature, and now? How is there already someone who has defeated a boss alone? If anyone knows this incredible guy, please introduce him. He really fought alone. It can't be. There's only one name on the leaderboard. A player sweating coldly exclaimed. "That guy, the Shadow, is the one who left the city a while ago." I even read it. He was shocked and stammered. How could he reach level 2 so quickly? This doesn't make sense. And on top of that, he defeated a boss. We couldn't even kill a common monster, and he did it all alone. This must be a system error, right? Even Kani couldn't believe it. That giant spider was really taken down by someone, but the breeder was still after its offspring. Who the hell is the Shadow? The blonde-haired girl frowned, wondering, could it be that assassin with stealth skills we saw earlier? Meanwhile, Fenji received several system notifications. "You have defeated the bronze rank breeder. You've gained 300 experience points. Congratulations, you have reached level 2. Congratulations, you've gained 2 evolution points. Congratulations, you've unlocked the ranking of the Caracola town. Congratulations, you've earned 1 point of prestige." This achievement has been announced throughout the city. Kunenju watched as the giant spider began to fade away and sighed in regret. "If I had eliminated the offspring first, I would have gained more experience. It was an oversight on my part." The system showed a new notification. "You've gained 46 days of exchangeable life expectancy. You've received the Greedy Hand skill book, bronze rank. You've received the Corrosive Cutter sword, bronze rank, attack 35, agility 28, level 1 required. You've earned 2 evolution points." Reading the description of the Greedy Hand skill book, Fenji reflected, so it's a skill from the assassin class. The system continued with its explanation once learned. This skill gives a 20% chance of obtaining additional loot when defeating monsters. Level 1 required. Fenji murmured in astonishment. Greedy Hand. I didn't expect a bronze rank boss to drop a legendary skill for assassins. If used correctly, this could significantly increase the amount of gear obtained in the future with a 20% chance. If I defeat powerful bosses, I could receive additional loot. He recalled something from his past life in my old guild, the God Hunters. There was a player who didn't have great combat skills, but thanks to this ability, he became one of the most sought-after people in the guild. Every time he went hunting, he always had personal bodyguards protecting him. Suddenly, Fenji's eyes shone with excitement. Wait a minute. If this skill has a 20% chance but I combine it with my infinite evolution talent, doesn't that mean I could increase its success rate to unimaginable levels? I could get unlimited loot. Meanwhile, at school, the campus was filled with students walking back and forth. Su and her friend were heading back to class. The short-haired girl beside her asked with concern, Xiao Su, aren't you going to call your brother to apologize? Yesterday we sneaked out to support Faye. I'm sure your brother is really mad. Su frowned angrily and replied disdainfully, he didn't do anything wrong. Why should I apologize? If it weren't for him, we would have almost been late to Sun Fei's event. He should be the one apologizing. Her friend sighed, but he's always been really good to you. Sometimes I really envy you for having such a brother. Tiedo sorted dismissively. Well, my rear, he's always meddling in my business. Besides, he's not even my real brother. Sunfei is all I need. Suddenly, her friend asked curiously, by the way, so, what happened to your face? Su turned her gaze away and replied indifferently, nothing. I just fell. Before they could reach the classroom, an uneasy murmur spread around them. In front of their classroom, a large crowd had gathered. Her friend frowned in confusion. What's going on? Why are so many people gathered in front of our classroom? She pushed through the crowd to get a better view, and what she saw left her frozen. Sui, her classmate, was collapsed on his desk. His whole body appeared translucent. Her friend immediately panicked. What happened to Azue? Why does his body look like that? One of the nearby students responded nervously. I don't know. A moment ago, he said he was going to take a nap, and then he just started fading away like this. The crowd began to speak even louder. This isn't just happening to him. It's occurring all over the world. Experts believe that anyone who falls asleep enters a spectral state, but they still don't know the exact cause. Her friend pulled out her phone in concern. I need to call my parents and warn them. Xiao, why don't you call your brother and tell him to be careful too? But Tiano simply scoffed coldly. I'm not going to contact him first. If he dies, better for me. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Tianfeng stared intently at the red ring on his finger when a notification appeared before his eyes. Congratulations, Greedy Hand has successfully evolved. Greedy Hand, a bronze rank, a Greedy Hand, a gold rank. Assassin class skill using it on monster corpses increases loot gain from 20% to 70%. You have learned Greedy Hand Pull 2. He clenched his fists and a golden glow flashed in his hands, followed by another system notification. Greedy Hand Judgment completed successfully. You have obtained 2 evolution points. You have obtained 46 days of exchangeable lifespan. Tianfeng narrowed his eyes with a faint smile. It looks like the real hunt is just beginning. He let out a loud laugh. Not bad. My luck isn't bad at all. I've gotten 2 more evolution points. I need 3 points to upgrade Greedy Hand T3. Soon I'll reach a 100% chance of obtaining extra loot. He activated stealth and vanished into the darkness. As he did, he pondered, the governments of the world must have already discovered this phenomenon. More and more people are being dragged into this game. I need to accelerate my progress. Before anything else, he equipped his available items. The system displayed a notification, equipped corrosive cutter sword of bronze rank. Pulsey 3-8 agility, requirement level 1. His body merged with the shadows as he calculated his next move. It won't be long before people realize that the skills and items from this game can be used in real life. When that happens, the world will plunge into bloody chaos. To gain skills and equipment, 2 requirements must be met. Reach level 10. Have enough exchangeable lifespan. If I only hunt small monsters, it will take me too long to meet both conditions. I need to find stronger bosses. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed nearby. Hi! From his elevated position, Tianfeng observed the scene with interest. A worried voice shouted from below. On the ground, a red, color creature with a mouthful of sharp fangs roared menacingly. The system displayed its information. Wild Runner level 2 of bronze rank. Tianfeng grinned in amusement. Wild Runner, ha! Just when I felt like hunting, the perfect prey appears. But then, he noticed a young man fighting the creature with a shield. Something about him seemed familiar. Wait a second, that's Ju Men. He hadn't expected to find him here. So the legend is true. They say that when Vu entered the divine trial, he formed a team with 6 other players, all of them with hidden professions. Raised his shield and shouted, "Shield guard." Immediately his shield emitted a golden glow as he braced against the Wild Runner. Tianfeng recalled Wang Meng's hidden profession. Holy Guardian, he has double the base attributes compared to a regular warrior. On top of that, he possesses invincible skills, not an easy opponent to take down. At that moment, a red-haired girl lifted her staff, causing a golden vortex to swirl above her head before launching it at the monster. The system displayed. Tianfeng silently analyzed the situation. The hidden profession Arcane Magus has double the magic damage compared to common mages, plus it comes with the special skill Persistent Fireball. Meanwhile, a young archer was shooting arrows at the monster. His hidden class, Eagle-Eyed Sniper, had double the accuracy and damage compared to regular archers. He also possessed a special skill, Rapid Chain Shot. Beside him, another player held a magical book that glowed with a blue light. His hidden class was Celestial Priest, with twice the healing capacity of normal priests. From the very start of the battle, he had access to group healing skills. Fireballs and arrows flew one after another, but the Wild Runner managed to dodge them with ease. As its name suggested, its speed was overwhelming. Even Men's protective shield began to crack. Men groaned with difficulty. The archer grew worried. We can't, this boss is too fast. Attacking it from a distance is almost impossible. One man quickly commanded, "Healer, heal me now. The rest of you keep attacking and chip away at its health bit by bit." Instantly, healing symbols appeared above his head, indicating that his health was being restored. From a dark corner, Tianfeng watched the scene with a mocking smile. reducing its health little by little. Wang Men, you're too optimistic. He glanced at the shadowy forest surrounding them and reflected. This is a wild territory. If they prolong the battle too much, they'll only attract more demonic creatures. Just as he had predicted, 2 demonic creatures appeared behind W-Men. Kyun and Fenji recognized them immediately. Level 2 common rank core-ups. Their bodies were covered in dark brown sludge, and they specialized in long-range attacks. A young swordsman lunged forward, shouting, "Boss, watch out." His sword extended and struck the monster with force. Kyun and Feg observed with interest. Well, looks like another hidden class I haven't seen before. The young man gripped his sword tightly and tried to pull it out of the monster's body, but he couldn't. The system displayed a damage value of 33 points. Its defense is pretty high, the young man muttered. Suddenly, the creature opened its mouth and spat out a gray, viscous liquid. The young swordsman, now covered in the sticky substance, fell to the ground. He cursed, "Damn it, I'm trapped. My speed has been reduced. This stinks." A red-haired girl, seeing him struggle, cursed angrily, "Damn creature." The monster raised one of its long claws and swung it toward her. She screamed in desperation, "Someone help me." From above, Kinfei moved slightly. In an instant, a blue flash streaked through the air. The monster's head rolled to the ground. The archer froze in shock. Ubimen's eyes widened in disbelief. Even the celestial priest was paralyzed, unable to believe what had just happened. The red-haired girl shouted in astonishment, "One strike, he just killed a corrupt with a single strike. Someone is helping us." The young swordsman, still covered in sludge, trembled in disbelief. Even killing a level 1 creep took us more than 10 seconds by surrounding it, but that level 2 corrupted was taken down in an instant. That doesn't make sense. As if to confirm his thoughts, another blue flash lit up the battlefield. Another head fell to the ground. The young swordsman swallowed hard. That was an execution. He turned to the red-haired girl and asked, "Daily, did you see who did it?" She shook her head. "I didn't see anything." Wang Men took the opportunity to shout, "Whoever you are, please help us. Don't lose focus, keep attacking." He stood up and looked at the monster in front of him before giving another order. "Only the wild runner is left. Maintain the same attack rhythm." From the top of a nearby tree, Q and Fenge received a system notification. "And you have eliminated 2 level 2 corrupts. You have gained 40 experience points. You have obtained 1 evolution point. You have acquired the skill book Poison Shuriken, a common rank. You have obtained 8 days of life expectancy, exchangeable." Reading the notification, Q and Fen thought, Poison Shuriken, a mid to long-range attack skill that deals damage over time. Perfect. Without hesitation, he activated the option to evolve. The system responded immediately. "You have improved Venomous Shuriken to Venomous Shuriken to Silver rank, Assassin class. Range of 40 meters on and deals 120% damage and induces poison status. Cooldown 5 seconds. Requirement level 2. Poison effect inflicts 50% additional damage per second for 5 seconds. Applies weakness but is not stackable." Meanwhile, the Wild Runner launched a direct attack at Wang Men. He quickly raised his shield and managed to block the impact. However, the monster's other leg caught him off guard, stabbing into his abdomen. His shield and weapon fell to the ground as his body was lifted into the air. Wang Meng screamed in pain. The archer panicked. The celestial healer desperately flipped through his grimoire. "I can't heal him. Regeneration isn't working." With blood filling his mouth, Wang Meng looked at his team and gave one final order. At that moment, a blue flash cut through the air at the speed of light. The projectile embedded itself directly into the monster's eye. The system displayed, "Damage inflicted A45 is a weak point hit." The celestial healer stood in shock. What was that? The boss just lost more than half of its HP in an instant. A green liquid oozed from the Wild Runner's head wound as the creature trembled violently. Still suspended in the air, Wang Meng was brutally slammed to the ground, gasping in pain. The Wild Runner, now in its death throes, let out a heart-wrenching roar. The system continued displaying notifications. Poison image linked to 324 applied 4 times. The creature collapsed face first onto the ground, dead. The system announced, "Your total damage output has exceeded 90%. The loot rewards belong to you. You have eliminated the bronze rank Wild Runner. You have gained 600 experience points. Congratulations, you have reached level 3. You have obtained 2 evolution points. You have obtained 55 days of exchangeable life expectancy." Tianfeng was astonished. "I didn't expect Venomous Shuriken's damage over time effect to trigger along with my passive ability. If I combine this with stealth, I'll be able to stay invisible while continuously throwing shurikens. In the early and mid-game, no monster will be able to match me." Meanwhile, Wang Meng stared at the fading corpse of the Wild Runner, a chill running down his spine. This is terrifying with that kind of damage. Is he even human? As the monster's body completely vanished, Wang Meng murmured. Even the loot light disappeared. Despite his pain, he struggled to his feet, trembling, and clasped his hands together in a respectful gesture. "Brother, I don't know what kind of divinity you are, but thank you for saving my life." From the darkness, a cold voice responded, "Thanking me in the wilderness. You shouldn't trust others so easily." Wang Meng understood the message immediately and ordered his team to leave. Before departing, he bowed his head respectfully and said, "I understand. Thank you for the advice, Grandmaster. I won't interfere with your loot. My name is Wang Mit. If you ever need help, come find me." Dale also shouted before leaving, "Grandmaster, I'm Beilong Dale. Can I add you as a friend?" One of his teammates quickly grabbed his arm and whispered urgently, "Shut up and let's get out of here." Tianfeng gazed at the glowing sphere in his palm and thought, Wang Meng isn't a bad person. He might be someone I can trust in the future. Plus, he's backed by the Daxia government, which means he has plenty of funding and resources. Exactly what I need. Distribution channel to sell the items I don't need. He raised his hand and activated Greedy Hand. The system displayed a series of notifications. Congratulations, you have obtained 3 evolution points. You have obtained 55 days of exchangeable life expectancy. You have obtained Lightning Speed Pants of Bronze rank. Equipped. Item Lightning Speed Pants of Bronze rank Assassin class. Physical defense Applause. Resistance to all and percent. Skill cooldown 15%. Requirement level 2. Tianfeng slowly walked away, smiling in satisfaction. This expedition wasn't bad at all. I still have plenty of gear and skill books from different professions. When my backpack is full, I will return to Caracola village and exchange these items for interchangeable life hope. His eyes gleamed with a cold flash as he murmured in a threatening voice, "My growth speed is now 100 times faster than in my past life. Sanfi, I will come for you very soon." Meanwhile, the monsters continued their relentless attacks. Tianfeng from the side gathered energy and created a protective barrier to block the attack of a nearby creature. At the same time, Day's group was struggling, barely managing to defend themselves from each assault. One of Day's companions, who was wielding a sword, shouted in desperation, "We can't keep going like this. There are more and more monsters. We have to run." But while some hesitated, Meng noticed that several of his teammates had frozen in place. Why are you paralyzed?" He turned towards them, and upon seeing what stood before them, his mouth fell open in shock. "Abu, what the hell is that?" In front of the group, a gigantic creature had appeared. Its body was covered in eyes that spread across its entire skin, and through its perforated abdomen, oscillating organs could be seen. Without giving them time to react, the beast opened its stomach, releasing purple tentacles as spikes which shot toward the group. In an instant, they were all annihilated, forcing them to respawn at the starting point. 1W Meng returned. His expression was filled with rage and helplessness. Damn it! The monsters always appear in groups, and when they are about to die, they flee to bring reinforcements. Beside him, a young man with blonde hair exclaimed urgently, "We need to reach level 3 to get out of this place." "But how are we supposed to do that?" Another team member frowned and replied, "It looks like we need to gather more people. If 3 players aren't enough to form a solid team, then we should create a group of 6 or even 10 players. As soon as he finished speaking, another teammate immediately objected, "I don't think that will work. I saw a team of 10 people get wiped out by a group of monsters. If we gather too many people, we'll only attract more of them. Just a moment ago, there was a group of 40 players, and they ended up attracting that damn monster. It killed more than 30 of them with a single attack." Meanwhile, Day's group was also on the verge of collapse. Day, with her head lowered, murmured in frustration, "If we don't reach level 3, that means we'll be trapped here forever." One of her teammates paled with fear upon hearing that. "We all arrived here after falling asleep. In other words, we lost consciousness in the real world. If we don't get out of this game in time, our bodies will die of starvation." Furious, Day clenched her teeth and shouted, "Damn it, why is this game so insanely difficult?" Another team member, his face filled with anxiety, added in desperation, "Day, we've already died 3 times. Our remaining lifespan is now less than 10 years. Day closed her eyes in determination. "No matter what happens, we cannot die again." At that moment, the profession ranking appeared in the system. Shadow Assassin level 3, Meng level 1, Warrior Bilal level 1. Dai was surprised to see the names. That shadow guy, how did he level up so fast? He must have found a way to reach level 3 quickly, and if he knows how to do it, then he can help us escape this game. She immediately gave an order to one of her team members. Spread the word. If Shadow helps us reach level 3, I'll pay him 10 million in cash. Her teammate was stunned. 10 million! Day clenched her fists with determination. I don't think he can ignore an offer like that. Meanwhile, Tianfeng continued slaughtering monsters one after another. System notifications kept popping up. You have eliminated a level 2 corrupt. You have gained 20 experience points. You have obtained 1 evolution point. Reading the notification, Tianfeng nodded in satisfaction. I have accumulated enough evolution points. Without wasting time, he opened the interface and used his points to upgrade the Greedy Hand. The system displayed an announcement. You have consumed 5 evolution points. Remaining points 0. Congratulations. The Greedy Hand has evolved into the Greedy Hand of Emerald Class Assassin. Ability applicable to monster corpses. Probability obtaining additional loot at 7%. The loot obtained has a 20% chance to level up. Seeing the energy glow emanating from his hand, Qian Fenji frowned with curiosity. A 20% chance of the items leveling up. Is this an invincible skill? If I keep improving it, can I reach 100% or even 200%? As he reflected on this, a distant sound caught his attention. He looked down and saw a massive monster appear. The system showed its information. Curse level 2 bronze rank. Qian Fenji was surprised. A cursed one. It seems like it has been consuming life force and is trying to evolve to silver rank. It must have wiped out the group of 40 players that were here earlier. He decided to mark the location on his map, but then sighed in frustration. What a shame. My backpack is completely full. Even if I kill it, I won't be able to collect anything. The bosses need some time to respawn. First, I'll clear my inventory, then I'll come back and take it down. Scene change at Caracola village. After Daly's group spread rumors throughout the village, the conversations between players were non-stop. Hey, have you heard? Someone is offering 10 million for the Shadow Assassin to help them level up. Every time we die, our life force keeps decreasing. Has the government found a solution? Not yet, but for players like us, the way out seems almost impossible. At that moment, Qn Fenton returned to the village and appeared on the streets. Without wasting time, he sat in a corner and set up a sale announcement for equipment and skills. The message read, "Discount on equipment and skills for the next 10 minutes. Hurry and buy before it's gone." As soon as the announcement appeared, a crowd gathered around him. Players began whispering excitedly, "Oh my god, when did this guy appear? He really killed a bronze rank boss. Look, he's using bronze rank gear and still has 2 extra sets for sale. It's the Shadow Assassin #1 ranked player. Why can't I see his face? He must have activated the disguise mode." In this game, a player's appearance is identical to their real-life look. What a mystery. Interaction with a mysterious buyer? At that moment, a masked woman approached Qn Feng. "How could I buy the Ice Dagger skill?" Qn Feng quickly glanced at her and replied, 100 days of life force. For a moment, he hesitated. This woman must be Grey Rose, currently ranked number 10. She also activated disguise mode, just like me. When Grey Rose heard the price, she was taken aback. 100 days of life force, that's too much. Could it be cheaper? Qn Feng responded coldly. The Ice Dagger skill can significantly increase the monster respawn rate in the early game. 100 days is already a very low price. Grey Rose frowned and proposed another option. Can I pay with real money? Qn Feng looked up and responded without hesitation. If you have enough money, buy other players' life force first, then trade with me. If no one offers a better deal, I'll keep this price for you. The woman fell silent for a moment before speaking again. Please give me a moment. She turned and joined her group. What do you think? Her teammates asked. I have no objections. With the Ice Dagger, we can reach level 3 faster. What's important now is to exit the game as soon as possible. We've only come this far because of your leadership, so I trust your decision. After reaching a consensus, the woman ordered, "Alright, transfer all your exchangeable life force to me. When we return to the real world, I'll pay you in cash." She then returned to Qn Feng and said firmly, "Here are 100 days of life force. Let's make the deal." The system confirmed the transaction. You have sold the Ice Dagger skill. You have received 100 days of exchangeable life force. Your exchangeable life force has increased from 668 days to 368 days. Qn Feng silently observed her and thought, they clearly have more than 100 days of exchangeable life force. As soon as the woman acquired the skill, she left. Just then, Daly appeared in front of him, looking eager and excited. "Finally, I found you, Shadow. I have an offer if you help me reach level 3 when we return to the real world. I'll give you 10 million in cash." Nearby players were stunned. Someone is actually paying 10 million to find the Shadow. I thought it was just a rumor, but it's true, earning 10 million so easily. Meanwhile, Daly confidently introduced herself. "My father is the president of a big corporation. You could ask anyone. Don't worry, I can pay you." However, Qn Feng said nothing. He silently observed her. Something about her seemed familiar. So it's her. In my past life, she became the leader of a criminal organization. The government destroyed it afterward. He clearly remembered the official reports. She used cash to buy exchangeable life force, using those exchanges as bait to kidnap players and force them to work for her. Those who refused were simply eliminated, a despicable monster. After a moment of reflection, Qn Feng's voice rang coldly. "I reject your offer." Daly froze for a moment, unable to believe what she had just heard. After a few seconds, she regained her composure and insisted, "Shadow, even though you're strong in this game, no one knows what will happen in real life. If you join me, I'll give you everything: the best food, luxury cars, mansions, women, everything you want." Qn Feng looked at her coldly, without the slightest interest, and replied, "If you're not going to buy anything, please step aside and don't interfere with my business." Hearing this, Daly gritted her teeth in rage. "How ridiculous! I offered you my protection because I thought you were worthy. But if we were in the real world, I would teach you a lesson right here." At that moment, Qn Feng's eyes glowed with a threatening light. A dark energy began to emanate from his body. He stared directly at Daly and spoke in a chilling voice. "If you say one more word, your life force will be reduced to 0. The atmosphere became oppressive, and a terrifying black aura spread from Qn Feng's body. Seeing this, Daly's group recoiled in fear. One of her teammates screamed in panic, "Run! Let's get out of here!" Without hesitation, they fled in a panic. Meanwhile, Qn Feng quickly sold all his items. The system displayed the notifications. "You have sold the Radiant Cloak, bronze rank. You've received 19 days of exchangeable life force." His exchangeable life force increased from 527 days to 546 days. After closing his shop, Qn Feng stood up and walked away from the market. "Alright, everything has been sold. It's time to deal with the cursed one." No one knew that exchangeable life force could be extracted. No one understood that this game, abandoned by the gods, would soon destroy the order of reality. The systems and structures the world once trusted would become insignificant. There would only be one absolute truth: personal power is the root of everything. On the other hand, the group, after running nonstop for a while, finally stopped at a corner of the road, panting from exhaustion. Furious, Daly shouted in rage, "That damn Shadow not only rejected my offer but also dared to threaten me. When I return to the real world, I swear I'll catch him and kill him." Just then, a voice came from an alley. A stranger approached them and smiled confidently. "Greetings, Miss Daly. My name is Mao Luan, but you can call me Old Mao. I am currently level 2 and know a few tricks to level up. If you want to level up quickly, I can help you. By the way, is your offer of 10 million still valid?" Still upset, she crossed her arms and scoffed disdainfully. "What tricks? Nonsense." Mao Letten smiled slyly and replied, "I don't usually share this information with common people, but since it's for Miss Daily, I'll make an exception. If you really want to level up faster, you must invest all your initial points in agility. That way, when we run at full speed, we can be faster than them and avoid their attacks. Do you understand now?" Hearing this, Daily's mouth dropped open in surprise. For a moment, her expression shifted from anger to restrained excitement. "So that's how it is. This game is really played this way." "DM, I already invested my 5 initial points in strength," she thought, shaking her head. "Well, at least I have someone who actually knows how to play." After thinking for a moment, she looked at Malletton and proposed, "You're quite interesting. Fine, take me to level up, but since you're not as strong as the Shadow, I'll only give you 5 million if you get me to level 3. When we return to the real world, I'll make the transfer." Malletton, ecstatic, accepted immediately. "No problem. That Shadow guy may be powerful, but it seems like his brain doesn't work properly, rejecting 10 million so easily. He must be an idiot." Meanwhile, Cunifang had returned to the boss area. Seeing the energy emanating from the creature, his expression turned serious. "Just as I suspected. This boss has evolved to silver rank." A dense gray mist enveloped the body of the cursed creature, which continued to evolve. It was transitioning from silver rank to gold rank. To complete its evolution, it still needed about 7 or 8 hours. Kunin snorted impatiently. "I don't have time to wait that long." Without hesitation, with a cold gaze, he launched the venomous fierce strike directly at the monster. The cursed creature was hit unexpectedly, unable to react. 60 and up. Seizing the opportunity, Qinfeng activated Shadowbreaker's Supreme Strike, unleashing a series of sharp slashes against the creature. Even after receiving multiple cuts, the boss remained standing. Qinfeng leaped into the air and analyzed the situation. Silver rank bosses have about 2 to 3 times more health than bronze rank ones. He then channeled his dark energy. A large amount of black mist and spectral energy began emanating from his body. Activating Shadow Stealth, he vanished from the boss's sight. A few seconds later, the poison from Venomous Fierce Strike began to take effect. The cursed creature howled in pain, its body twisting and convulsing. From a safe distance, Qinfeng watched calmly. "I'll need at least 2 or 3 more Venomous Fierce Strikes to finish it off." Suddenly, a massive explosion shook the area. A dense cloud of black smoke spread around. When the dust settled, the silhouette of the cursed creature appeared, still standing. Its body was pierced by multiple wounds, its posture unsteady. From afar, Qinfeng assessed the situation. His boss is a dark mage type. Most of its abilities are area-affected attacks with extremely high damage. After launching Venomous Fierce Strike, I must retreat immediately, otherwise a single hit could kill me. Just as he was thinking about his next move, the cursed creature suddenly recovered. Its eyes shone with a chilling glow, and a dark energy sphere formed above its head as it furiously lunged at Qinfeng. The Qinfeng reacted immediately, retreating quickly. "I must hold out until the cooldown for Shadow Stealth is over. Besides, the boss is already exhausted after so many attacks." When its breathing became more erratic, its movements slowed. Qinfeng smirked confidently. "Knows the time." In an instant, Qinfeng appeared right in front of the cursed creature. Without giving it time to react, he activated Shadow Break Supreme Strike, unleashing a devastating blow to its head. The cursed creature trembled from the impact. Realizing it couldn't counterattack, the boss attempted to flee. From behind, Tianfeng watched with satisfaction. Now that its health is low, it tries to escape instead of entering Berserker mode. "This saves me a lot of trouble." Before the cursed creature could get away, Tianfeng focused his energy into his arm. A powerful wave of dark energy shot directly at its back. In an instant, the boss collapsed to the ground, lifeless. The system displayed notifications. "You have defeated the cursed one as silver rank. You have received 10,000 experience points. Congratulations, you have reached level 5. You have gained 4 evolution points. You have obtained 124 days of transferable life expectancy." Reading the notification, Tianfeng burst into laughter. 2 levels at once and 4 extra evolution points. Taking advantage of his rewards immediately, he upgraded his Greedy Hand skill. The system displayed a new notification. "Greedy Hand has been successfully upgraded. You have gained 4 additional evolution points. You have obtained 124 more days of transferable life expectancy. You have obtained an additional 120 days of transferable life expectancy." Seeing the notifications, Tianfeng was stunned. "I received double the additional rewards." He checked the numbers and smiled excitedly. "This silver rank boss gave me 12 evolution points and 372 days of transferable life expectancy." Then the system displayed a new message. "The special effect of Greedy Hand has been activated. One of your obtained items has been upgraded from silver rank to gold rank." Looking at the dropped items on the ground, Tianfeng was pleasantly surprised. "This is a gold rank item, so that's how it works. Greedy Hand Emerald rank has a 20% chance of upgrading obtained items. I've gotten around 7 or 8 items from this hunt." However, his excitement soon faded. "My inventory is almost full. I can't keep killing bosses and then returning to town every time to sell items. That would waste too much time." He sighed and looked toward the boss's corpse. "I hope this cursed creature dropped a dimensional ring or something similar. I need more storage space." Just as Tianfeng finished speaking, a brilliant light emerged from the pile of items, taking him by surprise. Scene shade. Unlike previous times when she returned disappointed and frustrated, today Daisy shouted with joy. "We finally made it back alive." The 2 members of her party smiled at her enthusiasm. One of them responded, "Good thing the great Chief Wang Meng was with us. Thanks to him we reached level 3 and successfully returned to town." The other added, "This was a team effort." Still excited, Daisy exclaimed with gratitude, That's right. Brother Wang Meng is incredible." Then she suddenly pretended to be embarrassed and said in a melancholic tone, "You, what a shame. I didn't have time to befriend the great chief. I bet it's because my clothes were all dirty and covered in mud. That's why he didn't want to talk to me. One of her teammates tried to comfort her. Maybe if you had worn your new armor, the great chief would have accepted your friend request. Ranking update. At that moment, the player rankings updated. Shadow Assassin level 5. One Man Warrior level 3. Dala Warrior level 3. Seeing the ranking, the players in town were stunned. The ranking updated again. Shadow already reached level C. He jumped from level 3 to level C in one go. What kind of boss did he fight to level up so fast? One player, still in shock, murmured, "Just 10 minutes ago, I saw him selling equipment. How did he gain 2 levels so quickly?" Another player excitedly commented, "My younger sister is 18 this year. I really hope the Great Chief Shadow accepts her into his team. That way I can benefit and level up faster too." His friend laughed mockingly. "Ha! A billion wasn't enough to convince him, and you think he'd be interested in your sister." Meanwhile, Wang Meng sighed in frustration. "Damn, I barely reached level 3 and the Great Chief is already level 5. This is insane." Hearing their complaints, Wang Meng encouraged them. "Don't worry about that. The most important thing now is returning to the real world and warning our families and friends about this game. The world could fall into chaos, and the best thing we can do is prepare and protect our loved ones." Everyone nodded seriously. "You're right, let's log out for now." Shortly after, the group left the game and returned to reality. Reality, a dark room. In a dimly lit room, Wang Meng finally woke up exhausted. As soon as he opened his eyes, the excited voices of several people echoed around him. Look, Brother Wang has woken up. Quick, inform the captain. Brother Wang is awake." His teammates rushed to his bedside, concerned. One of them asked anxiously, "Brother Wang, what happened? Are you okay? You had us really worried. You have no idea how you looked just now. Your body started turning transparent. Please don't scare us like that again, Brother Wang." Another team member spoke with a trembling voice. "I told you just yesterday to get some rest. I said I'd handle watching the suspects." Still dazed, Wang Meng remained silent for a long time, his eyes vacant, filled with confusion. He was still processing what had happened when suddenly urgent shouts echoed through the base. "Quick, gather everyone immediately. Something serious has happened." The video ends here. If you want part 2, leave a like. As soon as new chapters come out, I'll bring new parts.